Hi, I'm Graham and welcome back to Man vs Film. This is going to be another top 10 of movies that you can watch right now on Amazon Prime UK for the month of August 2018. So let's get started. Number 10, The Conjuring 2. Ed and Lorraine Warren travel to London, England, where single mother Peggy Hodgson believes that something evil is in her home. When Peggy's youngest daughter starts showing signs of demonic possession, Ed and Lorraine attempt to help the besieged girl, only to find themselves targeted by the malicious spirits. I was a huge fan of James Wan's The Conjuring. I think he's one of the best directors of horror that we currently have working. He understands the medium terrifically well and uses it to the best of his abilities by again creating a tense as hell horror movie that has some really nice directing touchings about it. I think the characters of Ed and Lorraine Warren are fantastic to watch and terrific to see interact, as well as touching on their relationship as well as this demonic entity that they're dealing with. I love the story all around about it, and the change from America to England was a really nice change of structure about this movie. Again, I just love everything about these movies. I wish for a part 3. It can't come soon enough for me, and I think The Conjuring 1 and 2 are two of the best horror movies that have come out in recent times. Number 9, Free Fire. Set in Boston in 1978, a meeting in a deserted warehouse between two gangs turns into a shootout and a game of survival. Ben Wheatley's movie is just one big shootout, but it's not as action-packed as you would imagine because it's full of these deliciously fun characters who just embody bigger, grandiose ideas, and they have this shootout that lasts for a little while, but it's punctuated by comedic beats and laugh out loud moments. You get the effortlessly cool Armie Hammer character, who is probably my favourite out of the bunch, and you just have this interplay between these two gangs where things just go so awry, so out of touch that they can't help but drop back. It just escalates and escalates and escalates. It's in the one location, a warehouse that is really nicely staged for a shootout. And one of my favourite things about this movie is that everybody gets shot, genuinely, at some point. And it's just something that you never see happen. Usually you have the heroes who bullets seem to magically miss all the way through the movie. Nope, at the start of this, most people are injured straight away and have to go through the rest of the movie with a bullet inside of them somewhere. It's just fun, entertaining, a popcorn movie that is just exciting as hell. Number 8, Sinister. True crime writer Ellison Oswalt moves himself and his family into a house where a horrific crime took place earlier, but his family don't know about it. He begins researching the crime so he can write a new book about it to help his failing career. He uses some snuff film footage he finds in the house to help him in his research, but soon finds more than he bargained for. Scott Derrickson directs this horror movie that again just gets under your skin, starring Ethan Hawke as a father who is obsessed with finding his old spark, obsessed with finding the truth, no matter what it's going to cost him and his family. It is full of really disturbing 8mm footage that he plays, and it's just the sound of that worrying, the images that are on screen, they're haunting, they're creepy, and it gets under your skin. My favourite kind of horror movie. Number 7, Cockneys vs Zombies. A group of inept criminals who decide to rob a bank so they can save their grandfather's retirement home from being demolished by developers. Meanwhile, on another building site, some workers dig up an old graveyard and they get bitten by the undead, which sets off a chain reaction. Cockneys vs Zombies it put me off from watching it from the longest while because of that title. Zombies are just, they've been overused recently, and something versus something just kind of goes, ooh, I don't know if that's going to be the greatest movie ever. But this, thanks to the writing here, is genuinely an interesting and fun spin on the zombie genre. There is two kind of failing stories going on here. My favourite is definitely the old people's home, and there is a chase sequence in this that is just terrific to watch. You have a limping, hobbling zombie versus a old person with a Zimmer frame going is equally as slow, but the footage that the filmmaker has done, the editing, the sound, makes it feel like a high-speed chase when it really is anything but. This is actually quite a fun movie, and one that you can just throw on late at night and just enjoy the hell out of it. Number 6, Waterworld. In a future where the polar ice caps have melted and the Earth is almost entirely submerged, a mutated mariner fights starvation and outlaws smokers and reluctantly helps a woman and a young girl to try and find dry land. Kevin Costner's ridiculously large budget produced this movie, a movie that is kind of typical of these post-apocalyptic movies, but you've got to admire the scale and admire the audacity to just kind of have this movie in existence. You have Dennis Hopper just chewing up the scenery as the bad guy. You have Kevin Costner trying to be that stoic hero, reluctant hero, and you have absolutely fantastic cinematography and exciting action set pieces, and no matter how ludicrous this movie gets, it's just entertaining. Number 5, True Romance. In Detroit, a lonely pop culture geek marries a call girl, steals cocaine from her pimp and tries to sell it in Hollywood. Meanwhile, the owners of the cocaine, the mob, track them down in an attempt to reclaim it. Simplifying the plot, they are directed by Tony Scott from a script written by Quentin Tarantino. This has all the hallmarks of Tarantino movies to come. It has 2 fantastic characters in Clarence and Alabama. We have a host of sub-characters who just light up the screen as they appear. We have Elvis in the movie as well. It has everything and it's just fantastic. Again, Dennis Hopper is in this movie in a pivotal scene that he just steals the movie from because of, and this is a movie that you don't really watch often, but when you do, you just realise how fantastic it truly is. Number 4, Shaun of the Dead. Shaun doesn't have a very good day, so he decides to turn his life around by getting his ex to take him back right in the middle of what might be a zombie apocalypse. But for him, it's an opportunity to show everyone he knows how useful he is by saving them all. All he has to do is survive and get his ex back. Edgar Wright teamed up with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost to create a masterpiece. Shaun of the Dead was one of those movies that I saw in the cinema and then didn't see it for a good number of years. And when I went back to it, I was surprised by how well it holds up. It is, yes, primarily a zombie movie, but it's more about someone dealing with a midlife crisis, an early midlife crisis. He doesn't know what direction his life's going to take. He thinks being stuck in a rut is the kind of existence he wants, but deep down he wants more. He wants the girlfriend, the career, to be the hero, and this is facilitating that for him. Shaun of the Dead is truly a masterpiece, and I absolutely adore it. Number 3, The Game. Nicholas Van Orton is a very wealthy San Francisco banker, but he is an absolute loner, even spending his birthday alone. In the year of his 48th birthday, the age his father committed suicide, his brother Conrad suddenly returns and gives Nicholas a card, giving him entry to an unusual game. His life is turned upside down when he becomes unable to distinguish between the game and reality. All you need to know is this is directed by David Fincher, stars Michael Douglas and Sean Penn, and it is a mind trip. This is a guy who has more money than sense, who can buy and do whatever he wants, and he gets thrown into the middle of a game that is going to redefine his life. I don't want to tell you too much about it because it is a very good mystery at the heart of it, and it is just enjoyable as hell. Number 2, The Mummy. An American serving in the French Foreign Legion on an archaeological dig at the ancient city of Hamunaptra accidentally awakens a mummy that wreaks havoc on him and his crew. This is the 1999 Stephen Sommers directed, starring Brendan Fraser movie that is amazing. It is one of the best action adventure movies I can think of, and it is the closest we came to replicating the magic of Indiana Jones. This is a movie that has become a yearly tradition for me. I watch this every year, usually on the 1st of January, because it is just a great way to start my movie watching year. A fantastic movie that I can highly recommend. Still holds up today, apart from some dodgy CGI, but that kind of adds to the aesthetic of the movie now. Number 1, Arrival. Linguistic Professor Louise Banks leads an elite team of investigators when giant spaceships touch down in 12 locations around the world. As nations teeter on the verge of global war, Banks and her crew must race against time to find a way to communicate with the extraterrestrial visitors. Arrival is tremendous. It's a movie that gives this big opinion of science fiction, big landscapes, huge aliens, monsters. You don't know what's going to happen, but it's an intimate story about a woman learning that it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. It is fantastic. Denis Villeneuve directs and gives it real style and panache, some great performances, especially from Amy Adams, and this is a movie that is just tremendous and well worth my #1 spot. So there we have it, 10 movies to watch on Amazon Prime UK for the month of August 2018. I hope you find something that you want to watch or something that you need to check out. If you think I've missed something off my list, let me know in the comment box below, or even if you find something that you really enjoy, let me know that this list is useful for you, and I will see you next time on Man vs Film.